Kia ora, my name's Kevin Bewley and I'm the director of Auckland Zoo. Seems like yesterday I arrived from the UK. I originally came here as head of life sciences back in 2010 and was motivated to come here just because of the sheer potential of Auckland Zoo. Really at the heart of the community, loved by Aucklanders, huge potential for conservation work, and it's something that I'm incredibly proud of, and I think everybody that works here is incredibly proud of. The journey that we've been on and the work that we're now doing as a good modern zoo. What defines a good zoo? First and foremost, I think it's about accreditation, so it's your peer group. Uniquely, Auckland Zoo for this region, Australasia, is the only zoo that's accredited by the European Association of Zoos and Aquariums, as well as our own peer body, the Australasian Zoo and Aquarium Association. It puts you part of a much wider zoo community, access to more species programs, access to more knowledge and expertise, and puts us on a much larger global playing field. Secondly, importantly for me, is that you've got to be not-for-profit. The goal for a good modern zoo is about wildlife conservation, is about learning, is about connecting your community with wildlife. And then lastly, but certainly not leastly, it's those conservation and learning outcomes you want. Most threatened species now in Aotearoa, New Zealand, are entirely dependent on humans in one way or another for their ongoing survival. Handling animals, breeding animals, all of those types of things are now increasingly used to conserve those species in the wild. So being able to develop those skill sets in the zoo, then take them out into the wild, that's really one of the key things that we've been able to achieve in recent times, and one that really has put us on the map in an international scale. So we're 100 years old, and in our centenary year, the zoo that we have now bears no resemblance to the zoo that opened back in 1922. The developments that we've been able to achieve over the last decade and a half have really transformed the site physically, but also transformed how we care for the animals and their welfare outcomes. A number of universities around the world, including within this country, have made entire departments focused on animal welfare and animal care. And we've been able to take that scientific knowledge and what's called the 5 domains of animal welfare and directly translate it into how we care for animals here and improve their lives on an ongoing basis. One of the most importance of providing excellent animal care is that whole preventative, curative veterinary support. And we're incredibly lucky here, incredibly fortunate that we've got such a fantastic team and fantastic facilities that really stand alongside any of the best in the world. And they really function on 2 levels. So it's one, providing support care for the species here at the zoo, but also increasingly, importantly, providing care for species out in the wild. So whether it's kakapo coming in from the wild when they fall ill and being cared for and recovering and being returned back to the wild, or whether it's sick or injured birds or turtles coming in, receiving expert care and then hopefully being released back into the wild. A good modern zoo has to be at the heart of every community. Without the support of the community, without the trust of the community, without the love of the community, we are nothing. So the projects that we do in this country, working with species in the wild, the projects we support through the Department of Conservation, the international conservation projects in Southeast Asia, Sri Lanka, Africa, etc., are only possible because of the support that people are providing to us on an ongoing basis here. What we're able to do in a world where people are in many ways increasingly disconnected from wildlife is to provide that convenient gateway and to really get that emotional connection with animals that you wouldn't otherwise have. And from that initial connection comes learning, comes understanding, and hopefully comes a desire to do your bit for the environment. We want to have that positive influence, that positive connection with people throughout their lives. A little while back I came up with this awful phrase which I can't help but using, which is that we like to engage with people from pushchair to wheelchair, which is a very crass way of saying that we want to take people on a lifelong journey with nature. And it happens now that whether it's grandparents or parents bringing their kids around, if you've grown up in Auckland, if you've lived in Auckland for any length of time, then the touch points with Auckland Zoo are multiple. So I've got 3 kids, and getting them out into nature, getting them outside in the sunshine, walking around the zoo here is incredibly enriching. And it fills you up, it recharges you, it recharges your spirit.
Seeing them so close is really incredible, and it makes you feel much more connected to them.
My favourite part
was when we saw the jack and he flew right over my head. It felt all soft and like my pillow.
You can see how important we are as a component of people's well-being. What we've seen over the last decade and a half is a real shift in the culture of Auckland Zoo, in the geography, in what we build, in how we tell our stories. Now we're much more reflective of modern Aotearoa New Zealand. We are reflective of this land and very much of Asia Pacific region. That's fundamentally important in terms of our success as an organisation, because you're then much more relevant to so many more people. So in 100 years' time, my fervent belief, my fervent hope is that Auckland Zoo is here, still connecting people with wildlife on a planet where biodiversity loss has been arrested, where climate change has been stopped, and we are here playing a key role in maintaining that sustainable future. In my time here, one of the things that I'm most proud of has been the physical transformation of the site. That's affected not just the visitor experience, but importantly, the care that the animals receive as well. And that transformation has only been possible with the support of Auckland Council, which has been incredible. And there's so much more still to do, transforming the site into a zoo that all Aucklanders and all New Zealanders can be proud of. And it's a journey I'm very excited to continue in the coming years. So as we go into our centenary year, we're hoping it's an opportunity for people to reconnect with us if they haven't done for a while, or for people to come and see us for the very first time. So there's going to be lots of stuff going on over the next 12 months, culminating with our 100th anniversary. And it's a really exciting time to stand back and celebrate what we've become as a wildlife conservation organisation.